All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is cut all of these plastic straps, and then we're gonna unbox it. Oh, it's like Christmas, right? When you get something cool in the mail. Ta-da! Woo! Wow, that was a resounding boom. There's a lot of packaging that comes with this. Oh, you know, and save the box too, because your kids can probably play in it. Whoa. Oh my gosh. This freaking looks amazing. Wow. But let's go ahead and just open this up. We've got a door here. Ooh, that is nice. And there's a lot of packaging inside here too. You know, they want to make sure that when they ship this thing from China, that it's not going to break. It comes with a couple of, well, there's a quick start guide, there's some instructions, so we're gonna have to sit down and read that. Let's remove the antifreeze. It's gonna come in a container like this, and in the booklet, you're gonna look and see exactly how much you have to put in the back here. We're not gonna use this entire thing. We're gonna slide this baby off. I don't know how much this weighs, but it's easier if you have two people. Okay, let's lift it up. I think I got it. Ta-da! What I like is that it's got a lot of stickers on here that actually tells you what to do and where all the buttons are located and what they do. So it's telling me that I've got to fill the water tank with the antifreeze before I connect the xTool to a power supply. Also, let's go ahead and open this baby up. And we need to actually take out the styrofoam that's here underneath of this tray. So let's actually go through all of the things that come with the xTool P2, because you need to know what's going to come in this. So of course you've got the instructions and you've got the quick start guide. I watched a lot of videos that were pretty helpful in setting this up, but you still want to look through this. You want to make sure, and you're also going to have to use the chart. There's a chart in here that actually tells you how much antifreeze you're gonna need. The antifreeze that comes with this, it depends on your region. Okay, I'll find it, but there's a chart that tells you how much antifreeze you need to put in there. Depending on your region, does your region freeze or doesn't it freeze? And that'll tell you how much you need. It does come with some sample boards here. So you got 4 sample boards of 3mm basswood, and you've got 4 boards, or is it 5? You've got 5 of cardboard, so you can do some test cuts right away. You've got a hose. This is for ventilation because, believe me, when you're using an engraver, there's a lot of smoke. You do not want that stuff in your shed, your workshop, your garage, your house. So it comes with a clamp, and you'll just clamp this to the back of the P2. Now, again, I have the air purifier, so this may or may not be the hose that I'm using, but it's gonna be, instead of just being vented to the outdoors, this is actually gonna be connected to the air purifier. Antifreeze, we are gonna have to use some distilled water, so I'm just using this one. There was another video that said this one's perfect. You can get it from like your grocery store, and it's made specifically for small appliances or anything that's called for distilled water. It comes with a funnel, comes with a screwdriver, some screws. You've got 2 short ones and 1 long one. We've got a little Allen wrench here. We'll need to, you know, make sure that the optical path, right? The optical path of the laser is correct, and so we may have to do some adjustments with that. You'll see in a moment. It comes with 4 clips. These are the clips that actually hold the material down. So, you know, you want to make sure that those items, when you're engraving, don't move. And then power cord, of course, and then it comes with a USB so that you can connect this to your computer. xTool actually has this program called xTool Creative Space. They call it XCS. And it's free, so we're gonna use that in just a moment. I'll show you how to set that up. I'll figure it out. And we're gonna use that to do a test cut once we've done everything that we need to do on this. Now for the next step, remove the screw that's holding the base plate in place and remove all of the styrofoam and the extra acrylic pieces that you get, and then slide it back in and attach the screw. This actually has metal slats. These can be adjusted. There's 24 of them here, and this is so that when the laser is cutting your work, it's not going to destroy it by, you know, burning it out. You don't want to burn your work. So these can actually be moved a little closer if you are engraving something or cutting something that is smaller. So I like that these are adjustable, and you can totally remove them, and then you get this extra space if you have something that's just a little bit bigger. We've actually got two cameras. There's one here, which is the distant view camera, and then there's also one that's in here too. That's the one that's the close view camera, because once you put your material here, it's going to take some pictures of your project or whatever it is that you're cutting or engraving. So the cameras are pretty cool, and you'll see in the software that it actually shows up, it actually shows you a real-time picture of what your material looks like. So then you can place the design on there and then cut it out. And I actually have to remove, there's some screws here that I need to remove, and then I need to remove some on the back as well, because we've got to put the water in the antifreeze. So we need to remove this sticker. This is the sticker that prevents the lid from locking. So we actually want to remove this now. And we're also going to turn this to the right. We're not going to push it in or anything. We're just going to turn this to the right to reset it. And I think that's good. So basically you just want to be able to, I guess, move this out. Everything looks good there. We're going to move this all the way and make sure that this is going just fine. All right. There's 5 screws back here that have to be removed. 1, 2, 3, there it is, 4, and 5. And once we remove those screws, this housing can come off. Aha, aha, aha. Wait a minute, it's coming off. Woo! Geez, that's hard to get off. Now the water tank here in the back, this is where we're going to put the purified water, and we're also going to put the antifreeze. And so the cap comes off, you can use the funnel, well you should use the funnel, and then look at the instructions again on how much you need based on your location's temperature. If you get below 0 degrees Celsius, which is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, or if you're living in a place that gets temperatures above or only above 0 degrees Celsius, then you're going to put in however much you need. The power supply goes in right back here. And also the on-off switch is back here as well, right next to the power supply. Plug it into my receptacle here. This is the scary part. Now I've got to turn it on. So I realized I made a mistake. So the instructions say to do the first filling, which we did. You saw me put it in the tank. And then you were supposed to turn the machine on and let it run through, wait 30 seconds, and then do the second filling. And I didn't do that. So I have nearly a full tank over here, so I could be in trouble. I don't know what's going to happen when I turn this on, so I'm a little afraid. But we're going to do it. Let's do it. Oh shoot. Oh God, there it goes. Oh God. Ah! I'm scared. I'm totally scared. All right, I'm gonna wait 30 seconds. Like literally my heart is pounding right now. I'm like, what if it explodes because I added too much water? Oh my gosh. Whew, it's beeping. What's that mean? I'm scared, but you see the water's flowing. So I'm just gonna wait 30 seconds. All right, good. The water level has gone down. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of this 250 milliliters of water. And then I know I've got to do 300, so I'm going to do another 50. So the next step is to set the optical path. Now this is really simple to do. You will have to use the xTool Creative Space software to run this test, but you're going to need some tape. You're going to put it over that little area and make sure there's an imprint there so you can see the circle, but that dot should be as close to center as possible. Here I have to make a little bit of an adjustment. I won't go through those instructions because I think xTool does a really great job of providing that information, but it's using the tools that they provided and making some, like, honestly little minute adjustments and then running that test again until you get as close to center as possible. And what's really interesting is once you run that beam, you're going to see a little flash. So painter's tape doesn't really work too well, so try to use a heavier masking tape and get as close to center as possible, and then you're ready. So there's two ways that you can actually vent this. You can use what is included with the xTool, which is the smoke, they call it the smoke exhaust pipe. I just call it tubing. Or you can use the air purifier, which is awesome, which means we don't have to put this out one of the windows. We can actually just connect it to this and it will purify the air and get rid of all that smoke that's going to be in there. Now this is the first test that I did using the xTool P2 engraver. I'm using the clips to hold the basswood. This is the 3mm basswood. This came with the engraver, so I didn't purchase this. And I thought, okay, let's just do thrift diving. We'll just do my logo and my name. I'm speeding this up here, but you'll see in a second that it actually is kind of slow, and you can change the speed. You can change the power so that it's a little bit darker. So I haven't had a chance to really play around with the software yet. I feel like there's a little bit of a learning curve to make sure that you know what material you've got, when you're cutting, what depth, all of that. So it takes a little bit of time to figure out that software. So I'm not going to cover that in this video. I will cover that in the next video. I've been playing around with it, and I'll tell you, I've ruined a couple things, but it's fun. I went to the thrift store and bought some like sample things to engrave and score. So it's a lot of fun, but we'll do a second video, of course. I'm going to do a 3-video series on this, but you see that I was able to cut this out, and I was actually pleasantly surprised. It's so accurate. One of the things I really, really wanted to do on this engraver was I wanted to make earrings, but you know, I had to get comfortable with understanding, okay, what are the settings that I need to use? What are the times when I need to engrave? When do I need to score? When do I need to cut? And just trying to figure that out. So I went to Canva, found this hammer, which I really liked, and thought this would be a great project for earrings. So I had to save it as an SVG file because that is really going to allow you to have more flexibility when you upload it into the xTool software. So I downloaded this from Canva, made a bunch of copies on one of these 3mm basswood pieces of wood, and then I scored it. So scoring is like where you're just sort of outlining it, right? And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to outline it, and then I wanted to cut it. Well, I kind of didn't get the settings right. So when I started cutting it out, I didn't realize that it was going to cut out all of the individual little pieces. And that is what was insane, is that this thing is so accurate down to those little minute circles that you see there. When this started cutting it out, well, it actually started cutting out all the little small pieces. And I'm like, wait, that's not what I wanted it to do. I just wanted it to cut out one big hammer. Well, then when I opened it up, I had all these little pieces. And I thought, well, these are kind of cute. Let's see if I can do something with these. And I did. You'll see in just a moment. When I lifted this up, all of the small pieces fell down below the slats. Now, xTool did just come out with a new honeycomb base, I guess you could say, so that instead of having these slats and having all those little pieces fall down below, it will actually collect the pieces, or at least some of the pieces. I mean, these really tiny pieces would probably fall through, but the bigger pieces that are still small, those would be captured. So hopefully I'll get my hands on that accessory. But anyway, when all of these pieces were cut out, I put them together like a little puzzle after I painted them and then glued it and put on some little earring hooks and made earrings. They were so cute. I was so excited about that. So these are just some of the things that you can do with this engraver. Super cool. And be sure to come back because I'm actually going to the thrift store, finding little pieces of leather and belts and all kinds of things that I can engrave on and to really test it out. I'm not sure how to completely use the software yet. So I need time to figure that out and figure out what settings are going to work best. But if you want to see some of these things that you can do with an engraver, things that you could possibly sell, personalize, be sure to come back because we're going to do that in an upcoming video. Be sure to check down below for some deals and discounts that are going on right now with xTool and use my affiliate link. Tell them Thrift Diving sent you, and I will see you next video.